Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's show. I'm your host, Jay Loner Sr., and welcome to the Pot of Coffee podcast. On today's show, we will be talking about the Cleveland Browns' new coaching staff. Today is the introductory press conference for new head coach Todd Monken, and these are his hires since taking over the position less than a week ago. At offensive coordinator, you have Travis Switzer. Travis Switzer has worked with the Ravens since coming into the NFL in 2017. For the past two seasons in Baltimore, Switzer has worked as the run game coordinator in that Baltimore offense, which, as you know, has been a top five, a top seven run offense the past two seasons under the offensive coordination of head coach of the Cleveland Browns, Todd Monken, and the run coordination of Travis Switzer. Now, Mr. Switzer will not be calling plays, I don't believe, because he got the bump up from run game coordinator to offensive coordinator. But I think that Coach Monken will be calling the plays because it is his offense. But then again, I could be wrong. I don't want to speak out of turn here in about an hour and 15 minutes. Todd Monken will have his introductory press conference. And with that, hopefully, we'll get some answers. All right. On the screen that you see is Travis Switzer, the new offensive coordinator for the Cleveland Browns. Up next, there's a returning face to Cleveland, and that is of offensive line coach George Warhop. Coach Warhop has had a very extensive coaching history that spans over 30 years in the NFL. Coach Warhop's first job in the NFL was 1996, 1997 with the St. Louis Rams. Yes, everybody, I said the St. Louis Rams. See, St. Louis, the Rams went from St. Louis to LA, back to St. Louis to Arizona, back to St. Louis to LA. You know, the Rams have jumped over the past 50 years, have jumped all over the Midwest and Los Angeles and the Southwest with moving for a number of reasons. Okay. Coach Warhop was with the Browns from 2009 to 2013. And Coach Warhop was also with the Ravens the past two seasons with Coach Switzer and Coach Monken. The next hire on the list was Danny Breyer. Coach Breyer previously worked with, and I think Danny Meyer is going to be the passing game coordinator. Yes, he will be the passing game. Danny Breyer, not Meyer. Breyer will be the passing game coordinator for the Cleveland Browns this year. He worked with Todd Monken in Tampa Bay from 2016 to 2018, where Coach Breyer was an analyst assistant, and for the past 3 years worked with Monken and at the Ravens organization. And if you notice that thing, what I just talked about, there was a lot. Those were uh, the three hires that stood out to me so far because that was a cohesiveness and a cohesiveness and a togetherness that those three and those are the highest three. That's the pass game or coordinator, the run game coordinator, or the offensive line coach, and then the head coach. Those are three of the most important positions to take care of on the offensive side of the board. Now, I think that, some might ask, what about, Deuce Staley and the running game or the wide receivers since the wide receivers coach? Well, I believe that Todd Monken is going to take over the wide receivers room because Todd Monken is a wide receivers coach. That's what he was before he became an offensive coordinator. Even as an offensive coordinator, he worked heavily with the wide receivers on timing and what quarterback is thinking. Like there's a clip out there where from 2019 where Todd Monken was talking to tight end David Njoku, and he was telling David Njoku, "Hey, if that linebacker is running Tampa, which is he's carrying the tight end up the field, up the seam, Don't cut across his face. Okay, keep going up the seam because he's not going to carry it more than 18 to 20 yards. You know what I'm saying? And then we'll just hit you back shoulder, which makes a lot of sense. Instead of crossing his face and making a business decision, go ahead and get into that secondary window for the quarterback, and he's going to put it there for you. It's your job now just to catch it. And yes, I am wearing my Browns, not just my Browns, but my Shador jersey today because of the introductory press conference in just a little bit over an hour, and then the Pro Bowl tonight. Uh, I will be watching that, and I might even do a stream. I might even do a live stream here in a little bit with the press conference, and then a live stream at with the Pro Bowl. All right, let's get back to these coaching hires. Okay, there was two more hires by Coach Todd Monken. Another hire was tight ends coach Jeff Blasco. Okay, now I don't have a lot of information about Jeff Blasco, so I'm not going to speak too much on him. And then the next one is going to be the quarterback coach, uh, Mike Bajakian. And he was recently hired by the University of Michigan, Michigan State University, to be the quarterbacks coach there. And that was just in December of 2025. So just a little bit over a month ago, he was hired there, and then got the call or he got the ring from Coach Monken to do the same thing and help him with this quarterback role in Cleveland this year. Contracts are for, I would at least say they would be at least be for 3 years, and to my estimation, but I could be wrong. Okay, so with that being said, I think Deuce Staley will be the running backs coach still. I do believe that. I wish he could have been the running backs coach and the associate heads coach, but I believe either Blasco or Bajakian is going to be the associate head coach. To my knowledge, I could be wrong. And now everybody's wondering about what are we going to do with the defensive coordinator position. Uh, Jim Schwartz threw a little hissy fit. Well, I can't say a hissy fit. He uh, he was rightfully upset for being passed over, where he thought that he might after Grant Udinski withdrew his name from consideration for the coaching job after his second interview. He thought that he was a shoe in for it. He was the front runner. Well, and he could have been. And from all reports and understandings from the media is that after the meeting with Steelhouse, that they weren't sold, so they went on. They went back to Cleveland and had discussions late into the night and early into the morning, and then had another Zoom with Steelhouse and Monken. So, Coach Schwartz, I understand you being mad and being upset that you got passed over. You thought this might be your last chance, and it probably was your last chance, honestly. But then again, we don't know. You go come back and do this, get this defense top five again. You're going to definitely be top of the list for the next head coaching cycle. Okay, but now does Todd Monken really want to have that? Because I know you're coming in as a disgruntled employee. You don't have anything personal against me, but it's against the organization. So therefore, you're going to take it out on me. So I don't even know if I want to have you back in the organization. I understand that Miles Garrett and Denzel Ward and these other players really want you there, but this is part of the NFL. This is not a preschool and daycare, and we hold your hand and, oh, we need to have this head coach and we need to have that head coach or a defensive coordinator or this coach or that. You don't get your preference as a player. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're the quarterback. Let's go be honest. Just look at the Buffalo Bills. They went with what Josh Allen wanted. I don't think Brady is going to be a great head coach. I don't think so, and I think Brandon Beane made a big mistake on that. Excuse me one second, I got a little bit of cotton mouth. I gotta have some of my coffee. This can't be the Pot of Coffee podcast without you having, some coffee from time to time. And yes, I do have writing on my cup, but I am not being sponsored by the writer of that cup, so therefore it won't be, shown, but the company knows what cup that is because there's not too many of those color cups and that design of coffee mug. So, holla at your boy. Holla at your boy. Ooh, that's about it. That's all you get to see. Mm. And what kind of coffee I'm drinking? Well, it's a dark roast. I'll say that much. Hey, I'm looking for sponsorships. I'm looking for anybody to put a couple dollars behind me. It's not really, but it would be nice. I do thank everyone out there that have been watching my videos and subscribing and commenting. It makes it worth me doing it. Even if nobody did it, I would still do it because it gives me something to do during the day. I am a retired chef. I had some health issues a few years ago, and I'm just now getting back on my feet. So, but this is what I do. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I will be doing a live stream here in about an hour. It is 10:55 on the Eastern time right now. At noon Eastern time, the Cleveland Browns will be having an introductory press conference of Todd Monken, and I will be back there with you. Until then, please enjoy your cups of coffee, your espresso shots, your cappuccinos, all of that, and we'll see you here in an hour. Until then, be safe out there. Peace.